In the year 3078, the galaxy had changed. More than 150 alien species had come together under the Galactic Peace Federation, a powerful alliance of worlds. There were rules now. No more wars, no more invasions. Just diplomacy, science, and peace. But not everyone followed those rules. Some planets, far in the dark corners of space, still believed in war and power. The Federation needed protectors. So they opened the doors to a new Galactic Cadet program, a training academy for young minds across the galaxy. Every planet could send candidates. Even Earth. But Earth was a joke to most aliens. They called it a primitive world full of emotional, weak humans. It was the last to join the Federation. It had no history of interstellar war, no impressive ships, no advanced technology compared to others. So when Earth applied, most laughed. They expected nothing. The message arrives in a small house near the edge of New Delhi. 15-year-old Rayhan Ver sat on the rooftop at night, staring at the stars. His room was full of books, small robots he built himself, and printed papers with alien symbols. He had no friends, only curiosity. He loved two things: space and problems no one could solve. His father, a mechanic, often joked, "This boy lives more in the stars than on Earth." One evening, a strange buzzing sound echoed in the house. A blue hologram appeared in the living room. It said, "To Rayhan Ver of Earth, you are selected for the Galactic Cadet program. Boarding begins in 72 hours." Rayhan dropped his cup of tea. His mother screamed. His father stood frozen. They thought it was fake, a prank. But then two silver drones landed outside their house with the Federation symbol. They scanned Rayhan's DNA. It matched the selection code. It was real. A silent departure when Rayhan left Earth. No media followed. No officials came to say goodbye. His neighborhood didn't even know where he was going. But inside, Rayhan felt something. He didn't understand why he was chosen. He wasn't a soldier, not even a good athlete, just a quiet kid who solved problems and fixed machines. The shuttle took him far from Earth, faster than light, through glowing tunnels of folded space. He arrived at Axiom 1, the training center built inside a hollow moon, the first human in history to enter. Laughter in the hall as Rayhan entered the academy. The others stared. They were taller, stronger, and stranger, with glowing eyes, armored skin, or floating bodies. Some had wings, others had multiple arms. These were the best young minds from the most advanced planets. They saw Rayhan's simple uniform, thin body, and shy eyes, and they laughed. "Did he come here to clean our rooms?" One said in a sharp tongue. Another whispered, "Earth sent." "A child?" Rayhan didn't respond. He simply walked to his dorm. He had one room. No roommates. No one wanted to share space with a human. He didn't mind. He liked silence. The first test in day 3. The cadets entered a huge hall called the Simu Chamber, a place that created realistic battlefields using holograms and energy fields. It felt real, looked real, hurt like it was real. An alien instructor, a creature with 4 arms and no mouth, named Instructor Talvura, appeared. "Your first test," he said telepathically, "is to survive a collapsing space station scenario. You have 10 minutes. Most cadets smiled. They trained for this. Rayhan had never been in any simulation before. The countdown began. Collapse inside the simulation. Rayhan found himself on a massive station shaking violently. Alarms screamed. Fires broke out. Gravity was broken in some areas. Panels exploded. Other cadets ran toward escape pods. Rayhan stood still for 3 seconds, thinking. He scanned the walls, noticed patterns in the blinking lights. He muttered to himself, "This is not random. They want us to panic." He ran, but not toward the pods. He headed to the main control room. Inside, a fake control AI screamed, "All systems failing." Rayhan opened a panel. Wires sparked. He connected two ends using a bracelet wire from his own wrist. Suddenly, the station stopped shaking. He triggered manual override. The simulation paused. Voice echoed through the chamber. Simulation complete. Top scorer, Cadet Ryan of Earth. Silence falls. The entire room froze. The cadet stared at him. Instructor Talvio walked down slowly. "No one has ever stopped the collapse," he said. "The test is meant to measure panic management, not problem solving. But you found a backdoor." "How?" Rehan looked up. "It was in the code." "In the code?" Rehan nodded. "I noticed the pattern in the alarm sequences. They repeated every 12 seconds. It wasn't natural." Talvio stared at the boy for a long time, then said something strange. "You are." "Not what we expected." Behind the glass in a hidden room. Above the chamber, several high-ranking officials watched Rehan on screen. One alien, with glowing purple skin, said, "Earth should not have passed screening." "This human boy, how?" Another replied, "Check again." Was it a system error? But an older being, known as the Archivist, spoke softly. "No, it was not an error. This one carries a spark. One we buried long ago." Night whispers that. Night, as Rehan sat alone in the dorm, a small floating bot entered his room. It blinked. And then. It spoke an ancient Earth language, a dialect, not spoken for 700 years. "Rehan, your presence is unexpected." He frowned. "What?" The bot continued. "The others fear you. Not because of who you are now, but what you might become." Rehan leaned closer. "Why me?" The bot replied, "Because the last time Earth rose, the galaxy burned." It floated away, disappearing through the wall. Rehan couldn't sleep that night. The warning next morning. While walking to class, a tall alien cadet blocked Rehan's path. His skin was metal-like, and his eyes glowed red. "You think you're special." "Human?" Rehan looked up, calm. "No, you embarrassed us. That won't happen again." He shoved Rehan hard. The others laughed. Rehan didn't fight back. But later, in combat training, when that same alien charged at Rehan in a duel, Rehan ducked, rolled under his legs, and tapped the weak joint behind the knee. The alien collapsed. Match won. Rehan walked away in silence. The laughter had stopped. A secret file later that day. Rehan explored the Academy's library, a massive digital archive. One terminal asked for a login. He entered his. The system blinked. Restricted data detected. User access granted. He didn't understand. But the screen opened a file. It was labeled Project Gaia, Human Weaponization Classified. He opened one page. It showed images of human soldiers with glowing eyes, standing over burning alien cities. A line below read, "Status terminated. Earth's potential buried, never again to rise." Rehan's hands shook. He closed the file. Now he knew. To be continued. Narrator voice ending tease. They thought he was a mistake. A joke. A child lost in the stars. But Rehan is a reminder. That Earth is not weak. It was only resting. Last time. Rehan Ver, the 15-year-old boy from Earth, shocked everyone in the Galactic Cadet Academy. He survived an impossible simulation, used a hidden override no one else noticed, and scored the highest among all alien cadets. They laughed at him before. But now they were silent. But in silence, jealousy grows. A storm behind the eyes for 3 days. No one spoke to Rehan. They didn't tease him anymore, but they didn't smile either. Their eyes followed him in the hallways. Some whispered, in strange languages. Others simply stared. One cadet, Zirin, the son of a high general from the planet Verlax, hated Rehan the most. "He humiliated all of us," Zirin said to his group. "A child from Earth, weak, soft, human. This cannot stand." His friends nodded. They were planning something. Something. Quiet. The real simulation one morning. Instructor Talvio called the cadets to the simu chamber again. But this time, it was different. You are no longer being tested alone, he said. Today you fight in teams, strategy, leadership, instinct. The room changed. The floor melted away, and cadets dropped into a giant desert. Artificial wind howled. Drones buzzed in the sky. A countdown appeared in the air. Mission: capture the signal. Tower teams, red versus blue time limit. 15 minutes. Rehan found himself assigned to Team Blue. He looked around. He didn't know any of his teammates. Zirin was on Team Red. The first move as the timer started, the blue team began running toward the signal tower. But it was far, across dunes and behind wrecked ships. Their leader, a four-eyed alien named Marok, shouted orders. Split into two, flank left and right. Rehan frowned. No, wait. Marok snapped. You're not in charge, human. Rehan spoke softly but clearly. They're expecting that. They'll trap both flanks. Marok ignored him. The team split anyway. 5 minutes in, both flanks were ambushed. Lasers rained from hidden enemy drones. 2 teammates were knocked out. Rehan was right. A different way instead of following the others. Rehan climbed inside a broken ship engine near the center. There, he tapped into an old power port using his belt wire again. He accessed the simu map. System. Lines of code ran across his wrist screen. He noticed a repeating glitch in the enemy drone path. They were turning every 12 seconds in a perfect loop. That's a pattern, he whispered. He uploaded a fake beacon to the drones. Targeting system. Now they would shoot at each other. He whispered to himself. Let them fight their own shadows. The turning point on the other side. Zirin smiled as his team moved forward. They had surrounded most of Blue Team. This is over, Zirin said. But then, explosions in the sky. Zyron looked up. His own drones were shooting each other. What? Before he could react, Rehan appeared behind him and tapped his shoulder. Looking for this? Rehan held the blue team's flag and sprinted toward the signal tower. Zirin roared and chased him. But when he reached the tower, Rehan was already standing at the top. Game over, winner. Blue Team MVP. Rehan of Earth. Reactions. The entire hall watched in stunned silence. Even the instructors looked at each other. He rewrote the simulation logic. One said, no cadet has ever hacked the AI mid-battle. Instructor Talvaro turned to Rehan, staring deeply. What are you? Rehan shrugged. Just someone who pays attention. The council watches in a secret room above the chamber. Members of the Galactic Council watch. The archivist leaned forward. The boy sees more than just problems. He sees patterns. He creates new rules inside old systems. Another member, a tall being made of crystal, said, it's not safe. If others follow him, chaos will grow. The archivist said only one word, good. A visit from the AI that night. Rehan worked on a small bot in his room. It was broken, thrown away by another cadet. He liked fixing things. Machines didn't lie. Suddenly, his lights flickered, then dimmed. From the corner, a shape appeared, not solid, not shadow. It had no form, just presence. It spoke in a smooth, ancient voice. You see too much. Rehan turned. Who are you? I am the watcher of this academy, the eye buried beneath its surface. I was created during the old wars, when humans were feared. Rehan frowned. Feared? Why? The AI moved closer. Because they adapt faster than any species. They turn weakness into strength, emotion into power, pain into evolution. Rehan whispered. Then why did they fall? They didn't fall, the AI said. They were silenced. The sabotage. The next day, a security alarm rang through the academy. The reactor room had been tampered with. Cooling systems shut down. It was dangerous. One wrong signal, and the entire station could explode. Cameras showed Rehan near the reactor. He was arrested. Zyron smiled from a distance. The interrogation, inside a dark chamber. Rayhan sat tied to a chair. Instructor Tal Vior stood beside him. You were seen near the reactor. We found your wire on the control panel. Rayhan replied, calm and clear. That's not my wire. You expect us to believe that? No, Rayhan said. I expect you to check the security code. Talvio paused. Rean added, the wire had code ending in 43XN. My tools use 43ZL. Check it. Talvio War blinked. He sent a silent command to a guard. 1 minute later, the guard returned and nodded. Reha, mistelling the truth. The real culprit later that night. Talvior summoned Zirin privately. We found your DNA on the tool, he said. Zy Ron froze, but we will not expel you. Yet one more mistake. Zyron growled. Why protect the human? Talvior leaned in. We're not protecting him. We're testing him, and so far, he is passing. Trust and fear. Rayhan was released. But something had changed. Some cadets now looked at him with respect. A few even nodded at him in the hallways, but others, like Zyron and his group, now feared him, and fear leads to dangerous choices. A message from home that evening. Rayhan sat in his room alone when a screen blinked. It was his father. He looked older, tired. Beta, he said, the world saw your last mission. They showed it on the Earth Newsnet. People are calling you the Quiet Storm. Rayhan smiled. Just a little. His father added, I'm proud, but be careful. They cheer now, but some cheer with knives behind their backs. Rayhan nodded. I know. One more test next morning. Instructor Talver walked into the hall and made a sudden announcement. A secret test is being activated. It's called the Spiral Maze. Only one cadet will enter. And today, it will be Rayhan. The others gasped. The Spiral Maze had not been used in over 60 years. It was banned in some systems for being too dangerous. Rayhan didn't blink. He stepped forward. I'm ready. To be continued. Narrator ending tease. He came as a mistake. He rose as a surprise. Now they test him with ancient trials meant for warriors. But the boy from Earth is more than they fear. He is awakening. Previously. Rea, Enver, Earth's youngest cadet, had stunned the galaxy with his silent strength and genius mind. From surviving simulations to outsmarting sabotage, Rayhan had gone from joke to threat in just 2 weeks. Now, he faces the Spiral Maze, a trial not seen in 60 years. No team. No help. Just him, and a test designed to break the mind. Entering the spiral, the doors to the Spiral Maze opened slowly, with a hiss like breathing metal. A long, curved hallway stretched into darkness. Faint blue lights pulsed along the walls. Instructor Talver stood at the entrance. Inside you will face illusions, traps, and puzzles. No violence, only logic, memory, and instinct. Rayhan nodded. Talvio's voice lowered. Most cadets lose themselves inside. If your mind breaks, we cannot pull you out. Still, Rayhan stepped forward. The doors shut behind him. Silence. First turn. The mirror room. Rayhan entered a room filled with floating mirrors. Hundreds. They reflected not only his face, but different versions of him. Older, younger, angry, sad, even cruel. A voice echoed in the air. Which one is the real you? Rayhan stared at the mirrors. He didn't panic. He closed his eyes. Then he walked forward, right through a mirror that showed nothing. No reflection. It shattered softly. The wall behind it opened. Second turn. The voice trap next. He entered a hallway of whispers. They came from every direction. His mother's voice, his father's, even Talveo. You're not ready. They all hate you. You are alone. You will fail like the rest. The lights flickered. The floor shook. But Rayhan knew these were not real. He sat down, crossed his legs, and whispered to himself, Silence is stronger than noise. The voices faded. The path lit up. He continued. Meanwhile, outside, high above the spiral maze, the Galactic Council watched Rehan's movements through hidden sensors. He's calm, said one. Too calm, another added. No panic. No fear. He's treating the maze like a friend. The archivist, old and wise, whispered, because he has already walked through worse, not in space, but on Earth. The others didn't understand, but the archivist did. Pain builds armor. And Rehan was covered in it. Third turn. The choice now. Rehan stood before two doors. One glowed gold. The other pulsed black. A screen blinked. One leads to escape. The other erases memory. Choose. Rehan walked between the doors. He looked at the floor. Tiny heat marks showed many footprints going toward the gold door. Too easy, he said. He chose the black door. It opened to a staircase. He kept walking. The saboteurs move again outside the maze. Zirin and his group watched Rehan's test in silence. Zirin clenched his fist. Even this can't stop him. One of his friends, Kale, whispered, then we do it ourselves. They had stolen a control chip from the simulator room. They planned to send a false shutdown signal to the maze. If it worked, the maze would collapse from the inside. Back inside, the final puzzle. Rehan entered a circular chamber with 5 floating cubes. Each cube showed images: stars, planets, DNA, fire, and water. A soft voice said, only one of these built you. Only one can break you. Choose wisely. Rehan looked at the cube showing DNA. He whispered, humans are not made of fire or water alone. We are made of mistakes, of memory, of learning. That is what DNA holds, the record of our evolution. He touched the DNA cube. The floor shook. The ceiling cracked. Then the maze shut down. Panic outside sirens rang across the academy. Talvior rushed to the maze. Control room. System failure in chamber 9. Lock override not responding. Rehan was trapped inside. No lights, no sound, and no way out. But he wasn't panicking. He sat down again and began drawing a map in the dust, from memory. Kale's mistake back in the shadows. Kale laughed. He's finished, he said. No one survives a maze crash, but Zirin's eyes narrowed. You fool! We were supposed to scare him, not destroy the maze. Do you know what they'll do to us if they trace the chip? Kale blinked. Oh no. Rehan's escape inside. The dark chamber. Rehan stared at the wall. He remembered every turn, every sound, every shift in air. He closed his eyes and walked backward, step by step. 32 steps. Left. 10 steps. Down. He reached a panel. It had no lights now. Tapped it twice. Silence. Then a soft hum. A manual exit slid open. Hidden in the wall. Rehan crawled through. He escaped. Standing in the light, Rehan stepped out of the maze covered in dust and sweat. Talver ran to him. You should not be alive. Rehan looked up. I found my way, Talver whispered. Without light, without guidance. Rehan replied, sometimes when everything goes dark, that's when you learn who you really are. The council members above stood one by one. They had seen enough. The arrest hours later, security bots surrounded Zirin and Kale's room. Kale tried to run. He didn't get far. Zyron stayed silent. But he knew. Rehan had survived everything they threw at him. And now, Rehan was untouchable. The promotion next morning. An announcement echoed through the academy. Cadet Rehan Ver of Earth has completed the spiral maze, breaking all mental endurance records in Federation history. Effective immediately, he is promoted to level Delta and assigned as junior strategist to the war room. Gasps filled the hall. No cadet had ever been promoted this fast. New room. New eyes. Rehan was given a new dorm. It had more space, more tools. He was no longer alone. Now, 2 other cadets shared his level. One was a silent fighter from the moon planet, Nira. The other was a genius builder from the gas world Talrix. Both looked at Rehan with quiet respect, not fear. Not jealousy, just trust. A strange letter that night. Rehan found a note on his desk, no name, no signature, just 3 lines. They tried to bury Earth's strength. You are not the only one. The others are waking up. Rehan looked out at the stars, somewhere far away. Others like him were rising, and soon they would be noticed. Previously. Rehan Ver, a 15-year-old human cadet, shocked the galaxy. He survived the spiral maze, outsmarted sabotage, and earned a rare promotion. The Academy now watches him closely, but a note changed everything. You are not the only one. The others are waking up. Rehan is no longer just a survivor. He's a signal. A new assignment. 2 days after escaping the maze, Rehan was called into a quiet chamber. It wasn't part of normal Academy grounds. It was deeper, under the main tower, where only high-ranking officers walked. Inside, a round table glowed softly. Instructor Talveror stood beside Command Director Shira Zell, a tall woman with gray-blue skin and glowing cyber eyes. Rehan Ver, she said. You are assigned to your first off-world mission, as a strategist. Rehan blinked. Already? Shira nodded. You've shown signs of something forgotten. Something the galaxy once feared. She pressed a button. A hologram of a broken space station appeared. Station 9, orbiting planet Lorak. Went silent 3 days ago. Crew of 29, missing. She looked at him. No signs of battle, no signals. Only one word was sent before silence. She zoomed in. One word flashed on the screen. Earthborn. Assembling the team. Rehan wasn't going alone. 4 others were assigned to the mission. Zara Tell, expert pilot. From the fire world Farah, calm, sharp-eyed. Drax 47, a battle android with half-missing memory. Leo Quinn, Rehan's roommate. Tech genius from Talrix. Siren Koa, a quiet cadet from Nira, skilled in tracking and stealth. Zara met Rehan's eyes and said, They gave us a child strategist. Rehan replied, Let's hope I think better than I look. Zara raised an eyebrow. A faint smile. She was starting to believe the rumors of arrival at Station 9. The ship landed with a hiss on the side platform of Station 9. Lights flickered. No sounds, no movement. The station looked abandoned. But not damaged. Doors still worked. Air was still clean. It was as if everyone had just vanished. Zara led the group forward, blaster ready. Rehan followed behind, studying every corridor, noting every silent shadow. Then Leo whispered, Guys, I'm picking up power signatures from the deep level. Siren added, Footsteps, very slow, just one. The forgotten room they followed. The signal down to sub-level 5. It was colder, older. Drax scanned the walls. These panels, they're pre-Federation, human-made. Rehan turned sharply. What? Drax nodded. This section wasn't in the blueprint. It's like someone erased it. They found a sealed metal door with an ancient logo on it. 3 rings crossing in the center. Zara asked, What is that? Rehan stepped closer. My dad showed me this once. It was the symbol of Earth's first space military program. From before the collapse. He touched the door. It opened. The recording inside was a single working screen. As they entered, it turned on automatically. A video played. A human man appeared, tired, bearded, wearing old armor. He looked directly at the camera. My name is Commander Rehan Vus, Earthborn Unit 17. If you're seeing this, it means the silence is ending. He coughed. Blood on his hand. They erased us. Our history, our victories, our warnings. We saw what was coming. A species hiding in dark systems, feeding on memory. The screen glitched. They don't want the galaxy to remember what Earth truly was. the fire that never dies. The recording ended. A sudden attack as the room went dark. Alarms blared. Something moved in the vents. Fast. Zara shouted, "We've got company." Metal claws burst from the ceiling. A dark spider-like drone dropped down, its body made of ancient Earth tech, but rewritten. Corrupted. It attacked fast. Drax took the hit and slammed it to the wall. Leo screamed, "It's scanning our DNA." Siren fired her blade gun. Rehan shouted, "Shut off your biosignals. It tracks human traits." They all pressed their belts. The drone paused. Then fell. Dead. What? They found Leo connected to the dead drone. His hands shook. This thing, it was built by Earth, but not our Earth. Zara frowned. "Explain." Rehan spoke softly. "Not everything left Earth after the collapse. Some were hidden, underground, rewritten by someone or something that hated what we used to be." Leo nodded. "Exactly. The drone's code has anti-human protocols. It sees Earthborn as threats." Drax added, "Then why was it here?" Rehan looked at the broken screen. "Because someone here remembered, and they sent a message. Hidden files." Leo cracked into a secondary server behind the room wall. Data burst onto the screen. It showed a list of names, hundreds. People with Earth DNA, some still alive, scattered across space. The files called them Echo Units. Rehan saw something shocking. His name was on the list. So was his father's. And two more names underlined in red. Subject 9, location, Federation Academy. Subject 11, location, Lorak Prison Moon. Zara whispered, "There are more like you." Returning to the academy, the team returned with the data. They had no bodies, no enemies captured, only evidence. And that was dangerous. Rehan was called before the Academy Council. They played the recording from Station 9. The archivist leaned forward. "So, Earth did not fall, it was buried." Another council member snapped, "You expect us to believe this?" "Child." Talvero stepped forward. "Belief is no longer a choice. He has brought proof." The room fell silent. Then the archivist asked Rehan, "What do you want us to do?" Rehan didn't hesitate. "Find the others, protect them, or someone else will." Shadows watch far away, in a dark corner of the galaxy. A different kind of council gathered. Not made of flesh, not made of light, but of code, control, and fear. They saw Rehan's file. They knew he had survived the spiral maze, found the Earthborn signal, unlocked ancient code. One of them said in a voice like metal scraping metal, "Phase 2 begins." He must not reach Subject 11. A message from Father back in his room. Rehan received a hidden video from his father. His voice was quiet. "I knew this day would come, Beta. If you're seeing this, it means you've seen the truth. About Earth, about our past." He paused. "There are people watching you. People who fear what we might become again. But you are more than what they expected. You are Earth's echo, and its answer." The video ended. One final decision. Talvero met Rehan in the observatory. "You have changed everything. You've started something we cannot stop." Rehan looked out at the stars. "There are more like me, and they don't even know who they are." Talvero asked, "What will you do now?" Rehan turned to him. "I want to find Subject 11. Talvero narrowed his eyes. "Lorak Prison Moon. Maximum security." Rehan nodded. "Then I'll break in." Recap, quick intro. Rehan Ver, the youngest cadet in the galaxy, unlocked a secret. Buried by time, Earth's true power. A forgotten human space unit. A dark warning. And a list of others like him, the Earthborn. Now he has one mission. Find Subject 11, the prisoner who knows the truth. But Subject 11 is locked inside Lorak Prison Moon, a place no one enters and no one escapes. The plan in the Academy War Room. Rayhan stood before a glowing 3D map of Lorak Prison Moon Dot. It floated in a dead orbit above a cracked red planet, surrounded by defense satellites and black matter shields. Zara looked at the map and said, "You want to break into that?" Rayhan nodded. "Subject 11 is inside. He's the only one left who remembers Earth's full story." Leo frowned. "Even if we get in, what if he's dangerous?" Rayhan replied quietly, "Then we don't wake him. But we must know what he knows." Drax 47, the android, added, "I calculate a 4.6% success rate." Rayhan smiled. "That's better than zero." Getting inside, the team used an old cargo ship reprogrammed by Leo to fake a prisoner transfer. Drax posed as a bodyguard. Rayhan wore a prisoner collar. The ship landed with heavy silence. Inside the cold steel walls of Lorak, cameras moved like eyes. 2 guards scanned them at the gate. "What's the charge?" One asked. "Earthborn Code Violation 23B, Drax replied coldly. The guard looked confused, then scared. He typed fast. Lights turned red for a second, then green. "Taken to level 7, cell 11. Rayhan looked at the guards shaking hands. Even here, the word Earthborn caused fear. The prison core inside. Rayhan saw things he would never forget. Cells filled with strange beings. Mutated bodies. Eyes that glowed in pain. Some whispered. Some stared. Some had no faces at all. Zara whispered through the comlink in his ear. "We only have 15 minutes before the real check-in catches the signal. Make it fast." Rayhan reached the end of level 7. A door opened. Cell 11. Inside sat a man, or what was left of one. Meeting Subject 11, he had long silver hair, eyes glowing faintly blue, and wires plugged into his spine. His body looked human, but enhanced. His skin was covered in scars, shaped like symbols. He did not look up. Rayhan stepped closer. "Are you Subject 11? He asked. Silence. Then the man spoke in a voice rough like broken glass. "I was Subject 11, before they took my name. Before they erased me." Rayhan replied, "I'm Rayhan Ver, Earthborn Unit 42. I found the old signal." The man's eyes finally looked up. "I thought we were all gone." The forgotten history. Rayhan removed the small projector from his belt. It showed the Earthborn files he found, names, dates, proof. Subject 11's eyes filled with something rare in that place. "Hope." He whispered. "They called us weapons. We were never meant to live long. Just fight. Just die. But we remembered. We passed it down in blood and code." Rayhan leaned closer. "What did you see? Why were you locked here?" Subject 11 breathed in slowly. "I saw who erased Earth's truth." "And why?" Rayhan asked. "Who?" Subject 11 answered. "They're not aliens. They're not machines. They're former humans. They became something else, something cold, something empty." Outside, trouble brews at the landing bay. Zara and Drax were approached by a prison commander. "You're not on our transfer list," he said. Zara smiled. "Check again." The commander narrowed his eyes and raised his wrist. "Security, scan. ID code 0917. Leo's voice came through their comlink. Oh guys, the fake code's breaking down." The commander shouted, "Guards! Intruders!" Zara whispered into her mic, "Rayhan, we're blown. You've got 2 minutes." "The escape begins." Rayhan turned to Subject 11. "Come with me." But Subject 11 shook his head. "I'm wired into the prison's deep memory net. I've been absorbing secrets for years. If I leave now, they'll lose it all." Rayhan paused. "Then give it to me." Subject 11 reached into his arm, pulled out a chip the size of a tooth. "Inside this is every name, every hidden Earthborn, every system that betrayed us." Rayhan took it. Subject 11 grabbed his wrist. "One last thing." His eyes glowed brighter. "A not the most dangerous one they locked away. That title belongs to Subject 0. Rayhan's breath stopped. Subject 0? Subject 11 nodded. The first Earthborn. The one even we fear. If he wakes. The galaxy won't survive it. The prison erupt's alarm screamed. Red lights flashed. Drax burst into the cell and shouted, "Time's up!" Rayhan looked back one last time. Subject 11 nodded. Go, live, carry the fire. They ran. Guards poured in. Shots fired. Gas hissed from walls. Zara flew the ship directly into the side hangar and blasted open a wall. Jump in! She yelled. Reha leaped in, chip in hand. As they took off. Rayhan looked back at the prison. Subject 11 stood behind the burning door, still smiling, debriefing the council back at the academy. The team reported everything. Some members of the council were shocked. Others were afraid. Shira Zell held the chip in her hand. If this data is real, then Earth's greatest warriors were never destroyed, just hidden. Tal Vioa added, and now one of them walks our halls again. Rayhan said nothing. He had already copied the chip and hidden the original. Rayhan's secret room late that night. Rayhan opened a panel behind his room's wall. Inside, maps, lists, names of the Earthborn hidden across the galaxy. He studied Subject Zero's file. It had no photo. No DNA. Only one word in the file, unknown. Leo walked in quietly. You okay? Rayhan didn't look up. We thought the galaxy was afraid of aliens. He paused, but they're more afraid of us. Elsewhere. In a deep dark lab, far from stars, a creature opened its eyes. Red. Burning. A scientist looked at his screen. Subject 0 has started to respond to Earthborn signals. Another voice whispered, Rayhan Ver has triggered the legacy. The scientist said, then prepare the lock chamber. A cold hiss filled the room. They were preparing to wake something ancient, something unstoppable. Recap. Quick intro. Rayhan Ver broke into the most secure prison moon in the galaxy and met Subject 11, a forgotten Earthborn. He escaped with a chip, full of dangerous truth, and one terrifying warning. Subject 0 is awakening. Now strange things are happening, and Rayhan is starting to feel different. Nightmare begins. The story opens with Rayhan sleeping. Suddenly, his body shakes. He's dreaming, but the dream feels real. A burning Earth. Cities falling. The sky filled with red lights. A shadow stands in the middle, tall, covered in scars, with eyes that glow like fire. The shadow turns. It speaks without a mouth. You carry what I buried. You unlocked what should have stayed hidden. Rayhan wakes up, gasping, covered in sweat. His heart pounds. The cum on his wall flashes. Emergency call. Tal-VOR. Disappearances begin in the last 48 hours. 3 Earthborn cadets from the list have gone missing, all silently. No alerts, no signs of struggle. Talvaro speaks to Rayhan. Someone is hunting them, quietly, one by one. Rayhan replies, or something. They both look at the chip Subject 11 gave them. Inside it, one file keeps blinking. It's locked by a code called Ghost Protocol. Subject 0. Leo tries to open it. He fails. Then the code types back on its own screen. Access denied. Not ready. Zara whispers, it's alive? The whispering room. Zara, Leo, and Rayhan follow a signal from the blinking file. It leads them to an old, unused wing of the academy. Behind a sealed door, they find a room filled with old Earthborn relics, armor, weapons, and a black mirror with strange red lines. The moment Rayhan steps in, the mirror starts to glow. He hears a voice again, the same from his dream. You are not me, but you will become me if you keep going. He stumbles back. Zara catches him. What happened? Rayhan's eyes flash faint red for a second, then normal. He lies. Nothing. Visions of Subject 0. Later that night, Rayhan sees more visions. But now he's inside the mind of Subject O. Subject Zero is standing on a battlefield. Alien machines burn around him. Behind him, fallen Earthborn soldiers. He screams in rage and activates a weapon with his mind, a pulse that erases everything. Within miles. Then he falls to his knees. I didn't want this. They made me this. I was the first. I am the last. The vision fades. Rayhan wakes up again, but now his hands are glowing faint red, and a mark appears on his wrist. A small zero inside a circle. The rogue Earthborn. Suddenly, alarms ring across. The Academy. Zara calls out. There's a break-in. Someone used Subject Zero's protocols. They rush to the main command hall. Security footage shows a hooded figure breaking into the Earthborn archive. The figure moves like smoke, fast and silent. No weapon, just raw power. Rehen stares. I know him. That's Kale. Leo looks shocked. Your old training partner? Rehan nods. He disappeared a year ago. They said he failed. But the screen shows Kale looking directly at the camera and then whispering Rayhan's name. Hard truth. The council gathers. Shira Zell slams her hand on the table. He's activating the ghost protocols. If he reaches the final stage, Subject Zero's mind could take over his body. Rayhan says, then he's not Kale anymore. Talvioa responds, no, he's the beginning of something worse. Drax adds, if Subject Zero gains a host, he may become unstoppable. The room goes quiet. Rayhan finally says, then we stop him. Before he becomes me. The hunt begins. The team tracks Kale across an old mining moon called Delsur, now abandoned. Inside the moon's core is a locked vault known as Echo Chamber. One of the last places Subject Zero's energy was ever measured. They land near the entrance. Rayhan leads. Zara asks, are you okay? You look distant. Rayhan lies again. I'm fine. But the truth is, his mark is growing. He feels Kale's presence. Inside his own head, he hears Kale's voice now, soft and cold. You feel it, don't you? The power, the memory? You're not chasing me, Rayhan. You're following the path I left for you. The confrontation deep inside the vault, they find Kale, now glowing with red energy, surrounded by floating machines. His face looks human. His eyes do not. He smiles. Welcome, Rayhan. I hoped you'd come. Rayhan raises his weapon. You're not Kale. Kale steps closer. Wrong. I'm what Kale became. The next step in Earthborn evolution, and soon, so will you. Zara shoots. Kale stops the blast mid-air. Rayhan steps forward. Why are you doing this? Kale replies, because Earth was never meant to kneel. We were kings turned into servants. I'm waking the fire again. Power awakens. Kale lunges forward, fast, deadly. Rayhan blocks him using a force field he didn't know he could create. Everyone freezes, even Kale. You unlocked it, he says. You're further than I was. Rayhan's eyes flash red, but then blue, a new color. Kale stumbles back. No. That's not Subject Zero. That's something else. Rayhan whispers, I'm not becoming you. I'm becoming what comes after you. Kale screams in rage and blasts the ceiling. The vault begins to collapse. Escape. The team runs through falling debris. Kale disappears in the chaos, gone. But not dead. Outside, they launch the ship just in time. Rayhan sits silently. Zara says, he'll come back stronger. Rayhan nods. Yes, but now I know what he wants. Leo asks, what? Rayhan answers, to wake Subject Zero fully, and to replace the galaxy's rulers with us. The last line back at the Academy, Rayhan finally opens the full Ghost Protocol file using his now unlocked mark. Inside, he finds something shocking. A message, not from Subject Zero, but from his own father. If you're seeing this, Rayhan, then the final path has begun. And only one truth remains. you were never meant to follow. Rehan's eyes widen. Then, the file ends. Recap, quick intro. Rehan Ver has unlocked powers linked to Subject Zero, the most feared Earthborn. Now his former friend Kale, corrupted by Subject Zero's energy, is building something dangerous. A rebel army of forgotten Earthborns. Rehan faces a choice: lead the future or fight it. A disturbance in the network. It starts with silence. Across 3 systems, Earthborn detection towers go offline at the same time. Talvior reports to the Academy Council. This was planned. Coordinated. These towers were guarding one thing: access points to Earthborn archives. Shira Zell adds, Kale is opening them. Rehan listens quietly. His fingers twitch. His mark, the small 0 on his wrist, burns more each day. Zara looks at him. You okay? Rehan lies again. Yeah. But he's not. Kale's broadcast suddenly. Every screen in the galaxy lights up. Kale appears, eyes glowing red, wearing ancient Earthborn armor. His voice is cold and powerful. You were told Earthborns were dangerous. You were right. But they were not born to destroy. They were born to rise. We are the Red Echoes, the forgotten, the buried, the silenced. And now we are awake. The screen cuts out. A second later, a massive space station explodes. It was holding the largest Earthborn crow vault in Sector 9. Hundreds of red lights escape into the stars. The Council's fear in the war chamber. Panic rises. Some Council members shout, "We should lock Rehan up." Others yell, "We should negotiate with Kale." Only Talvior remains calm. He looks at Rehan. "What do you want to do?" Rehan replies, "I want to stop him." Shira Zell interrupts, "But Kale is like you now. Maybe stronger." Rehan's eyes glow blue for a second. "Maybe, but I'm not like him. I don't want to rule." Secret meeting with Subject 11's. Contact Rehan, Zara, and Leo travel to a hidden asteroid outpost. It's a place only found in the chip Subject 11 gave Rehan. Inside, they meet an old man, part cybernetic, part human. He looks at Rehan and says, "So you're the one with the mark." Rehan replies, "Do you know how to stop Kale?" The old man sighs. "You can't stop him with weapons. You must break the signal, the one that links him to Subject Zero." Zara asks, "Where is the signal coming from?" He answers, "From Earth." Everyone freezes. Leo whispers, "But Earth is gone." A dead world. The old man smiles sadly. "That's what they want you to believe." The secret mission to Earth. The team decides to go. Their ship, the Vanta Ray, is fitted with stealth drive. Talvior gives Rehan a small metal key before they leave. This opens the gate to Earth's last memory chamber. But be careful. Memory can hurt more than truth. As they leave orbit, Leo says, "Why would they fake Earth's death?" Rehan replies, "Because it's the only place powerful enough to restart the Earthborn protocols." Zara whispers, "Kale's not just waking soldiers. He's waking history." Arrival at Earth, they pass through the debris field, floating bones of old satellites and defense rings. Then they see it. Earth. Broken, cracked, but alive. Storms rage, land is split, but lights flicker beneath the clouds. Rehan stares through the window. My home. They land in what used to be North Africa, now called Zone 0. There's no oxygen. They wear breathing suits and step into silence. Then they find it, a large black dome, buried under rock. Rehan uses the key. The door opens with a deep hum. The memory chamber inside the dome is a circular room filled with glass panels. Each one shows moments from Earth's lost history, Earthborn battles, betrayals, and something worse. One panel shows Kale, as a child, in a test chamber. Another shows Rehan's father, training secret Earthborns. Zara gasps, "Your father was the architect of the Earthborn legacy." Rehan replies quietly, "And he knew Subject Zero would return." Suddenly, one panel lights up. with Subject Zero's face. He speaks through the glass. You have the power to unite or destroy. Your friend chose power. What will you choose? Kale attacks. Alarms scream. Red light floods the room. Kale has arrived with his army. They storm the chamber. Zara and Leo hold them off. Kale walks straight to Rayhan. No more running, brother. Rayhan stands tall. I'm not your brother. Kale steps closer. But you are. You just don't see it yet. You feel it. In your blood. The burn, the pull, the rage. Rayhan replies, I feel something else too. Kale raises an eyebrow. What? Rayhan lifts his hand. His mark glows, not red, but blue and white. I feel control. The Battle of Earth's Korea powerful fight begins. Kale and Rayhan fly upward, trading blasts in midair. The chamber shakes. Lightning crashes inside. Kale yells. The Earthborn were made to lead. Rayhan yells back, not to burn everything down. Outside, Zara is hurt. Leo gets cornered. The army is too strong. But suddenly, the chamber floor opens. More capsules rise from the ground. Old Earthborns. Hidden, frozen. Now waking. One of them grabs Zara's hand. Your fight is ours now. The turning tide, the new Earthborns join the fight, but their eyes glow blue, not red. They fight Kale's rebels, not with hate, but with focus. Rayhan blasts Kale into the center of the chamber. They stand, breathing hard. Kale growls, even if you win, you'll always be like me. Rayhan steps forward. Double quotes, no, I won't lose myself like you did. You let Subject Zero in. I locked him out. Then he touches the final panel. A beam of blue light shoots into the sky, and Kale falls to the ground. His powers drained. The red signal is broken. Aftermath. Kale is taken to a deep cryo-prison. The rebel Earthborn vanish into hiding. The new awakened Earthborns join Rehan. Lio repairs Zara's armor. She smiles. Rayhan walks alone through the chamber ruins. Talvura calls him from orbit. You've done something none of us could. You didn't stop a war. You rewrote its purpose. Rayhan looks at the sky. And down at Earth. Still broken, still healing, just like him. Final. Scene. Unknown location. A deep vault. Sealed. A console lights up. Inside. A glowing figure floats in black fluid. Its eyes open. Subject Zero. He speaks to no one. And everyone. Rayhan was a good start, but balance must always shift. Now I will rise, not in one body, but in many. A screen shows multiple planets, and a countdown begins. Recap. Quick intro. Rayhan stopped Kale and broke the red signal. But Subject Zero wasn't destroyed. He was waiting. Now, a new army rises, not from one world, but from many. And Earth's youngest cadet must become more than a soldier. He must become the last line. The rise of Subject Zero. It begins with silence. Then, across 7 planets, identical black towers rise from the ground. Inside each tower, a red eye opens. People begin acting strange, speaking in voices not their own. Earthborns who once fought with honor now vanish, drawn toward these towers. The Federation scrambles to react. Zara calls Rayhan. It's starting. He's not just waking Earthborns, he's infecting minds. Rayhan replies, calm and quiet. This is not war, it's inheritance. Rayhan sits alone inside the Academy's oldest chamber. He listens to his father's final recording again. If you find this, it means Subject Zero survived. You must choose. Carry the Earthborn legacy or break it. Talvura enters. You're afraid, he says. Rayhan doesn't deny it. I don't know if I'm strong enough. Talvura walks up to him. Your strength isn't just in your power, it's in your choice. Rayhan asks, what if I fail? Talvura replies, then we fall together, but we don't run. Zara's truth. Zara reveals something she's hidden. I was born on a black site, an experiment base for half-Earthborn children. My mother was Subject Zero's last failed prototype. Rayhan looks shocked. Zara adds, I wasn't just assigned to protect you. Rayhan, I was assigned to watch you, in case you turned into him. Rayhan stares at her, then says quietly, and now? She steps closer. Now. I'd follow you. Even if you did. The call of the core, the team gets one final signal from Subject 11. A map appears, showing an underground ruin beneath Earth's surface. It's called the Core Vault, the original creation site of Subject 0. If they can reach it, they can cut him off at the source, but it's protected by a massive AI wall, one that requires the last Earthborn to enter. Rayhan steps forward. I'll go. Inside the Core Vault, the vault is deep beneath what used to be Africa. They descend using an old Earthborn transport. Inside, they find pods, thousands with names. All test subjects. Failed ones. Then a large black room. At its center, a giant machine, humming like a heartbeat. A voice speaks. Welcome, Rehan. You are the last Earthborn created. The final version. The only one not touched by Subject 0. Rehan touches the machine. He sees flashes. His birth, hidden. His father erasing his existence from Federation records. His mother, not dead, but sealed within Subject 0's chamber, sacrificed to trap him. Rehan falls to his knees. Zara grabs him. You don't have to do this. He looks up. Yes, I do. The final plan. Subject 0's army is now moving toward the academy. Thousands. Infected. Mind-controlled. Only a few ships remain loyal. Rehan speaks to the survivors. You all know me as a cadet. Some of you feared I'd turn. I nearly did. But fear didn't make me strong. People did. You did. And I will protect you. I am Earthborn by blood, but human by choice. Tal Vo gives him a small core device. This can seal the infection. Signal, but only from inside. Zara protests. That's a suicide mission. Rehan turns. Then I guess I go out as what I was always meant to be, the last Earthborn. Final battle. Sky above Earth. The infected fleet attacks. Blue and red lights flash across space. Zara leads the defense. Leo controls the shields. Rehan flies a stealth pod straight into the lead ship, the Heart Tower, where Subject 0 is stored. Inside, the walls whisper to him, You are me, you just don't remember yet. He steps into the chamber and sees a floating body, red veins glowing, eyes shut. Subject 0. Rean walks closer and places the core device, but the eyes open. The true face of Subject 0. Subject 0 looks exactly like Rehan, but older, colder, more cruel. He smiles. You were my final attempt. My clean version. No hatred. No chaos. Rehan whispers, You failed. Subject 0 floats down. I gave them peace, strength, purpose, and they locked me away. Who really failed? Rehan replies, You turned pain into control. I turned it into hope. Subject 0 roars and attacks. Final fight. Power versus Choicerine and Subject 0 clash in midair inside the chamber. Blasts, punches, mental shocks. Rehan starts to weaken. Subject 0 laughs. You're not strong enough. Rehan bleeds. His mark flickers. Then he hears Zara's voice over the comm. Rehan, don't fight him alone. He looks up. Zara, Leo. Tal Vo, all broadcasting signals from Earth's surface. Power flows through Rehan's mark. Not red, not blue, but white. Subject 0 steps back. What is this? Rehan answers, You took power from others. I take strength from them. That's the difference. He blasts Subject 0 with full force, breaking the infection chain. Subject 0 screams and vanishes in light. Peace at a cost. The Heart Tower begins to collapse. Rehan uses his final breath to activate the core seal. All across the galaxy, infected Soldiers fall, but wake up free. The towers shut down. The red eyes go dark. Zara screams through the coms. Rehan! Respond! No answer. The tower explodes. 1 month later, the Federation holds a ceremony. Statues are built. A new fleet is formed, not to conquer, but to protect. Zara stands at the front. Now a commander. Leo works as lead engineer, rebuilding Earthborn. Tech. Talvior retires, and a new file is opened in the Federation records. Rehan Ver, status, presumed lost title, the last Earthborn legacy, eternal, final scene. The cliffhanger far beyond the known galaxy. A figure walks through a field of stars, wearing a black cloak. He removes his hood. Rean, alive. His eyes glow softly, not red, not blue, but white and gold. He whispers, Subject Zero is gone, but something deeper still sleeps. And I must find it, before they do. A shadow watches him from a nearby planet and disappears.